Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 13 here, lucky number 13 of God Bless Golf. We have got the ever legendary, the Panda Paw himself, Chip Book, right underneath me, and to my left here, Mr. Tim Tucker, legendary man on the grass himself. We are
God bless
going to
golf, boys.
Big up
waste
left
no
golf.
timer. How we doing, boys?
Doing good, man. Enjoying this summer day.
Starting to get a little bit warmer out there in the season. People are getting out there to play more golf for sure. Speaking of golf, right into it. Doral this week, right down there in Miami, guys. What are your thoughts on the week? Cam Young getting it done by a large margin. Kind of continues to be the large margin season of wins here. But first thoughts on Doral. Panda, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate that it looked like nobody was there. It looked like a practice round at a club championship. Honestly, every time I seem to watch it. However, being to Miami before and being at that course, it's not the easiest spot to get to. So, but anyway, what can you say? Cam Young's playing some incredible golf. Had a Masters in his fingertips. I do not think he will go quietly in major season. I think he is primed, ready to go. Of course, Scheffler finished second. So either, golf has never been more competitive, or these two guys are just way better than just about everybody else, minus Rory and maybe Bryson and Rahm on a good weekend. But, yeah, impressive win. I mean, what can you say? It's hard to win golf tournaments, and he made it look very easy, which it's not. And, I guess it's just kind of waiting around for the PGA. It seems it's just I don't know what it is, man. It's just hard to get behind any professional golf right now if it's not a major. At least that's just how I feel.
Yeah, no kidding. Timmy, what do you think about that? It wasn't really a banner event. It's kind of hard to watch. I mean, we've got plenty of people out there we could tie on to. Shout out Kurt Kitayama for another top 10. But it's not very entertaining right now, is it, Timmy?
No, not right now, but I do think that this week coming up will be entertaining. Probably part, like Chip said, hard to get to Doral, but also, it really doesn't host tournaments, consecutive years. So I can see how fans, aren't, a lot of times we plan our schedule around this, yearly event coming every year. So people want to go. There's a lot going on in South Florida. So I could see that being kind of a dud. But I do think Quail Hollow will be packed and will be a great tournament.
Yeah, we got one Myrtle Beach Invitational and off a secondary event in between there, Quail Hollow, and then followed up by obviously the PGA Championship.
Brooks Koepka in Myrtle, Vegas. Wow, that's funny.
Automatic start for Brooks this week. No wait list for him, right?
Wow, he really moves the needle.
Hey, that brings me to a question I got. Timmy, we'll start with you on this one. Like, and Panda, you referenced this already. Like, I don't want to say that we're in the same realm of Tiger versus everybody else, but it seems like one guy is only beating Scotty Scheffler, and obviously he hasn't won in a good bit. And people are going to be like, "Why aren't you winning?" And he continues with these great comments back to reporters. But is it Scotty versus everybody else right now? I mean, he seems to be playing 3 good rounds, and then whoever can come up with a couple of good ones, and stay consistent. I don't know. It doesn't feel that way, but every time I look up on a Sunday, it's Scotty and somebody else. So
yeah, it is Scotty for sure, man. I mean, dude, people think he's in a slump and he's, top fiving every single week, It's like Tiger, when he wasn't winning, they're like, "Hey, what's wrong?" And he's like, I'm finishing in the top 3 every week. So he's still playing great golf. Cam Young has impressed me big time. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of him, and more of a personal reason, he didn't hire me when he could have. Said I was too set in my ways, which fuck him, man. No, I'm just kidding. I am pretty set in my ways.
That's really backfired for Cam.
Right.
Yes, it did.
Couldn't even win a major.
Everybody I don't caddy for plays awesome golf. So what's that say? But no, man, we played with him in a tournament and I rooted against him so bad. He got so lucky and beat us. But dude, you win the Players Championship, which is an amazing place. Put him up there big time, and he's just been backing up great golf. And like you said, Chip, winning big. And I do think he's going to win a major, man. He is flowing, man. It's unbelievable how good he's playing.
Yeah, and and that's a great point too, Timmy. In the original question, when you say it's Scotty versus everybody else, and I don't know I think obviously Tiger changed golf fans, and then it made people that have no idea about golf like try to equate Tiger with like basketball and football and winning, and if you don't win, and so Tiger was the first guy that I can remember where it was a big deal if he didn't win. I mean, I remember when Norman was number one in the world, and Nick Faldo, and there'd be these great tournaments. Norman would get all the credit for losing, but nobody was ever given a hard time for losing. Then Tiger came and just floored everybody. And then when he didn't win, like Timmy said, it was like, oh my God, what's wrong? Scotty is probably start to finish the best player in the world, but Rory, you know, it's hard for me to say that Scotty's better than Rory, but Scotty is probably trajectory wise is better than Rory. It's kind of like Yannick Sinner and what's his name, Carlito Alcaraz. They're really the only two guys when it comes down to it, a head to head, that feels like they can beat the other one. Everybody else kind of knows they can't. I think if you're in a tournament, Scheffler's playing well, and I think you can put that in Cam Young right now. You're in a tournament and you're 5 behind Cam Young. You better shoot 62. Obviously he came back a little bit, but that's Augusta. That's a different story. But yeah, it's hard to bet Scotty outside the top 5, and he plays, even when he plays bad, it's still so good. He's got such an amazing attitude and obviously the skills to back that up. I think Cam Young, shares that whatever, just inner peace or the ability really just
the
to stay in the
groundedness. I'll use the word groundedness for you there.
just stay in the moment. Just
Yeah.
stay in present. I mean, it's hard to remember to do, but if you're trying to remind yourself to stay in the present, that's a pretty good way to be in the present if you're talking about staying in the present. But yeah, Scotty versus everybody else. Clearly, this week, like Timmy said, will be fantastic. The Charlotte fans are going to go and get after it at Quail Hollow. Real quick, Timmy, is it Quail Hollow overrated as a golf course?
No, I used to think it was, but the more that we play it, it's real. It used to not be
Properly rated?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great golf course. It's fun.
Okay.
I think, the Green Mile they call the last, 16, 17, 18. I feel like it's, you know, just 18 itself is so brutal of a golf hole. The green is super severe. The tee shot is very difficult. And
I know where my ball would be
from the
going.
pond and blowing it into the pine straw on the right or in the bunker and you're dead. That just having to face that at the end, but that course is a lot like Augusta in the fact that there are a lot of holes that you can make ground up on, and people do play really well there.
Sure.
And I think, Rory's had 2 weeks off and he's about to roll in there and he's had great success there. And, I would be surprised if he won that tournament.
Hey, real quick on that too. Is there any, you've been to Aronimink, obviously, Timmy, I believe, is that right? Correct me if I'm
Yes.
wrong. Is there any, we got Quail Hollow and then it goes right to Aronimink, right? So is there any parallel for these guys coming through?
Well,
Quality of grass, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say it's similar. Aronimic's going to be in perfect condition. It just gets member play. It doesn't have a tour event there every year. But Quail Hollow is going to be immaculate. They do it's Augusta-esque how they take care of the grounds. But I look forward to this week. Usually I don't. Chip, you were talking about major golf, but man, this is going to Quail Hollow, because they've had majors there and it's such a well-supported tournament in a big market. It's going to be a fun event. Chip, by the way, tell me about your putter. How's that been going? Great help?
Well, I did the lead tape thing, but as far as putting goes, it's crazy. I almost have to go cross-handed just to square my shoulders. That's how open I was.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just miracle putting. Well, while Richie's taking another call, we'll chat about my and Timmy's putting quest right now. So Timmy's philosophy is load up that heel to let the toe to close faster because I like to block my putts because I'm afraid to pull them. Give me some knowledge there, Tim. What are we talking
Yeah,
about here?
we're just talking about speeding up the face or slowing down or slowing it down based on what your tendencies are. So, most people buy a putter and they're like, oh, this is pretty, or I like the way it looks, or I like the way it feels. But the weighting of it may not match your stroke. And so for me, my tendency, I kind of have a weird putting style. I'm more of I have a long putting stroke with a short putter. So I kind of bend over and broomstick it still. I don't anchor, of course. But what I've found is my tendency is for the putter to hang open. So I put a lot of weight on the heel of the putter. It's sped up the toe, and now I'm able to swing it the way I want to, and that the putter's reacting to my stroke, not me having to change my stroke for the way the putter's weighted. So I did that, and I had some great success with it. And I would encourage people, if you're using a line on your ball, if you're not rolling it perfectly end over end and you see that line on the left side of the ball, the face is too closed. You've seen it on the right, the face is too open. So maybe try some of that lead tape and put it on the heel or toe based on your tendencies and fit your putter to your stroke instead of having to manipulate. If we're manipulating, then we're not going to be consistent because it's not natural, right? And then it's going to come down to timing and, also our focus. So I've found that if I can just fix that and get the putter to work for me the way I want to, I'm much more freer. I don't have to worry about trying to manipulate something. I'm just swinging naturally.
What's your what's your take on I saw this guy that was with some Korean putting instructor. That's just for those of know, that's where I'm at right now. Um, but this guy was basically telling you to do a drill with your right hand 3 different ways to kind of find out which way creates less torque with your hand or your trigger finger. And then maybe that's a different like philosophy, but then when I see what you're talking about and what these guys are working on the putting green, a lot of times, like, some people hold the grip like this, kind of underneath where their elbows tucked, or maybe a little bit more on top, like Tiger style with their thumb. This guy was all the way over, so the grip was in between the V. But then you hold a putter like that, and you're thinking, oh, that's kind of how guys do the claw, right? So what is there? I mean, because putting. So what's like, and you've heard all these guys, Phil Kenyon. I'm sure you've gotten conversation with a lot of these guys. Um, What's your philosophy there as far as trying different angles for your arm to figure out what's the best? Because like you said, if we're not trying, I want to be able to putt and not fight it. Like if all I'm doing is protecting myself from mucking it up, it makes me want to just throw every putter I have in the trees. Like I just want to be able to do something that feels natural where I'm not readjusting my hands and arms. So what's your thought on that?
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think putting is that difficult. and
It
I've
isn't.
said
No,
this,
it isn't at all.
and I've asked these questions to these golf instructors or putting instructors, and I'm like, hey, if I locked you in a prison cell, which is a terrible place, and it had a putting green in there, and I locked you in there with a putter and a golf ball with a line on it, and I said, when you can roll this, this the line on the ball end over end with consistency, you can get out of jail. Well, and I asked them how long would that take, and they say, well, probably not more than an hour or two, because you're pretty motivated to get out of there. And I said, well, if that's the case, and we can do it on our own, why do we need putting instructors? I feel like there are a lot of preferences in how people, look, Tiger Woods was a great putter. So do I need to if I'm teaching everybody like Tiger, would I be wrong? You know?
Mm,
No, I
mhm.
wouldn't be. But
No,
everybody's Tiger Woods, right? So I'm
clearly.
more with the thought, because I used to be a terrible putter. I worked for David Adele. I learned about putter aim. Obviously, I was big into aim point. I was in early on that. That helped me tremendously. Probably the biggest aspect was learning how to read greens to be a better putter. Again, if we think about, if I said to you, hey, would you rather hit an 80-yard lob wedge onto the green to save your life or make a 10-foot putt? Everybody would pick the lob wedge. But if you think
Yes.
about how far the club travels, okay, we're talking it's traveling 360 degrees. where a putter is only traveling this far on a 10-footer. So why are we panicked? This should be much easier to square up than a lob wedge traveling all this way, right?
Yes.
And I think the biggest problem is that if you have a terrible stroke, you need to be a bad green reader. If you have a good stroke, you need to be an exceptional green reader, because our subconscious and conscious mind are, our subconscious always knows what our flaws are and is constantly trying to fix it, right? But when our conscious
Yes.
mind is trying to do something with the putter, it's fighting our subconscious. It doesn't match up. So I would tell you, find a putter that fits your stroke. Don't buy a pretty putter because it looks cool, right? And I putt like shit with it.
Mhm.
A lab putter is from a physics standpoint, while it's sitting in the putter rack, it's the best putter in the market. As
Yep.
soon as you pick it up, you're changing the physics of that putter,
To you, right.
right?
Yes.
So
No. And
now, granted
I've
that a lab putter are great putters. I love them. And I have one, but just because you buy that putter doesn't mean you're going to swing it perfectly. And again, speeding up and slowing down the face can fix that for you in any putter. And I've done it with several of mine that I have. And I have multiple putters now that just naturally I can swing correctly due to waiting.
Yeah, but and so you're saying that if someone's coming to you, say, put something in your hand that makes you roll the ball end over end over and over and over again.
That's the
And
most.
really, if you it, where I get stuck too is, we'll get off like my putting deal for the show, but I think a lot of people the same way. When I line that ball up, if I'm 25 feet and that putt breaks, let's say 12 to 25 inches, pretty easy to put my line on there and I set up and I see it. But man, the minute that line gets on like left center and I get over it, I feel like I have to, and it's probably my eyes. I feel like I have to pull it to get it back online. And I feel like I already know for a fact I'm going to push it because you know what I mean? And it's like, how do you, when you're working with players, even these best players, now granted, they're obviously way better than me. They're setting their eyes every day, yada, yada, yada. But like, what's, what's that hurdle? You've seen so many guys that are dealing with these issues with their putting. I'm going to bring Richie's back. He had to leave us for a little bit. His poor little puppy had some paw issues, but I'm going to bring him back and then Timmy have you answer this question.
Okay.
Welcome back, Richie. I was just asking Timmy a question. We'll let you hop back on. I was explaining to him, using the line. Sometimes when I'm using the line, putts break left, putts break right. It's pretty easy. But man, when it gets close to the hole, I know for me, something about that left edge, left center, right edge, right center. I get over the line. I just feel like I'm just gonna. It's not. It doesn't have even a chance. And maybe that's my brain. But
Right.
I was asking him, what does he see guys do to kind of reset their eyes or just trust what they see? And what advice would you give to those listening? Because believe me, everybody's listening to this. Unless Mark Dole's listening, everybody listening to this is not a great putter. So, and I know Mark's not listening.
What I will tell you is the line on. Okay, we aim the line and then we use our shaft or a straight edge, on the shaft
Right.
to make sure it's aimed perfectly. Okay. And then we walk by and look at where it's aimed again after we've done it. I think when you step back and look where it's aimed, you can only do one of two things: agree with it or disagree. So
Yeah.
what I do and what I like to see people do is when they aim it and they validate it with the shaft, just step into it, okay? And instead of looking down the line where you think the line should be, look at the
Right.
hole for speed and just set up and putt. If you didn't know where the line was aimed when you step in sideways, it would not look off to you, right?
Right.
It's that we're trying to look down the line where it's pointed. So let's say I pointed it a foot out left. I'm looking out left. Why? That's never going to look
Right.
right. Just look at the hole because that actually is the target, the hole, right? That's where we're
Yep.
trying to finish.
Yep.
So I'm not creating that secondary line by looking out. I'm just looking at the hole for speed, trusting that I aimed it properly, and then again doing the only thing I can control, which is trying to roll it into over end.
Yeah, I love
Right.
that.
Do that,
Do
it'll
you think
take
there's
that
any
stress
you think
out.
there's any left eye dominant, right eye dominant issues with guys who use lines? Because I will tell you this, I'm super left eye dominant, especially when you get close around the hole, like you said. I'm picking a spot like a basketball player on the back of the rim. Now, a lot of great shooters would say front of the rim. I would disagree. You should look at something short, you're going to hit something short. So I pick a spot inside, especially inside the cup, right? And then I trace the line back with my left eye because I'm left eye dominant. Now, if I was using a line and those two didn't line up, I would be so screwed, right? To your point. If I was just putting a ball to an unknown target with a line on it and I said follow the line, you're right. I think I would make a lot more putts than, oh, does this look perfect? Things like that. So I wonder how many guys you've worked with, or do you even know? Do they even know if they're left or right eye dominant and how
Yeah,
that
they do.
perception
Some of them
works?
do.
Yeah,
And then also there's, imagine because we're standing left of the ball for right-handed golfer, we're looking in. Unless our eyes are perfectly over, then we're looking down. But if my eyes are outside the line, okay,
yeah.
or inside, I'm looking. It's not triangulating
Angles,
properly.
yeah, absolutely.
Well,
So
Timmy, real quick, not to interrupt. It's kind of like when you're watching a baseball game, and depending on which ballpark they're at, every pitch either looks like a strike or a ball just because the camera isn't right behind home plate. So is that similar to how like we see something, and I know I do it.
Yeah.
I look and I'm like, I know I'm not looking right, so why do I even look? Like I should look at the hole, like you said. Is
right,
that kind of a similar because the angle doesn't make it work right? So your eyes are lying to you almost already.
yeah. I mean, when you're behind it and validating it, you've already. That's why we're validating it with the shaft to go. Hey, this is aimed perfectly.
Yeah.
Once that's aiming is done, I think we need to forget about that part. We just match the line on the putter to the line on the ball, and let's look where we want to go. Right? Because the line on the ball and the line on the putter has already said, "Hey, we're going this way." Just trust it. Look, if you
Yeah.
don't look out where you want to go and you look at the hole, it won't mess up your eyes. I promise you. I'd encourage people to at least try that.
I tell you what's funny, man. I was, like I said, I work with a couple of high school kids in terms of their visualizations, their course management stuff here in Atlanta, and love doing it because I find 9 times out of 10, and this is kind of a parallel here, that they are staring at their golf ball in front of them instead of trying to visualize and picture the shot that is out there. If they would just play out there more versus right here more, aka less golf swing, more what am I doing with the ball? I think that, I mean, that frees you up so much more than being like, oh, I got to hit it right to left. No, you need to hit it between these 2 points. By the way, shout out Tim Tuck for the and Gary Woodland for the new strategy. And real quick, kudos to my boy over there, Panda, wearing the crab visor just for you, qualifying for U.S. Open senior sectionals up in Maryland coming up here soon in June. So shout out Panda, great playing, buddy.
Yeah, nice job, Chet.
Wanted to
Thank
wanted
you.
to wanted to squeeze that in. First senior qualifier. Welcome to the new league. But certainly great play, and we used that a lot out there, didn't we? Just getting it between points because we, as you and me know, we certainly didn't have a great golf swing that day. But you were a great player.
Yeah, it was a bit of wizardry Sunday night on the range. I'll just say that. Yeah, thank you for that. It was fun to be one of the youngest people at a golf tournament. It's been about 35 years since that happened. So, yeah, shout out Cartersville, Georgia. If you like hitting a fade, you will not like Cartersville, but I did like it, even though every hole you have to hit a draw, which I'd like to know that before I got there, but whatever. Hit a lot of 3-woods off the tee. Had a good day. I had Richie towed me around, which was huge. We needed it. And yeah, excited about hopefully going up to Manor Golf Club in Rockville, Maryland. So yeah, good stuff. And fun day.
Great song there. But yeah, no, going back to your point, like picking things out in front of you, especially and not worrying about what's going on right here and right now, but just worrying about your next step. I think that's got to free the mind up, allow you to make some more putts, play better, do whatever you want to say. But
Yeah.
I love that angle.
Yeah, good. I hope obviously this show we do a lot of nonsensical stuff, but the same day we love this game. Obviously, that's why it's called God Bless Golf. And I feel like between all of us, the three of us, if we had 30 of us on here, we all have issues that anybody listening that plays golf has. So it's crazy how easy this game really is and how sadistic our mind is to try to not let us play it as well as we can. So
Oh my
that's the
gosh.
struggle. That's why we love it.
Yeah.
What do we got next, Richie?
We got a lot of things else going on in the sports world. MLB's off to a pretty hot start here. I want to touch on that a little bit, and then and we've got some NBA and NHL playoffs here. So outside of the world of golf, boys, I know we got Dodgers fans, Oriole fans, Braves fans. Is this one of the best newsworthy MLB starts you've ever seen? You got a lot of major market teams doing well. The Cubs are on fire. The Royals are actually the hottest team in baseball, which is weird, but over the last 10. But what are your thoughts on the early season MLB guys, and what are you looking forward to this summer for that action?
Yeah, well, I'll certainly I'll start. Obviously, love baseball. Dodgers off, to a good start. It's funny. You feel like they should win all the time. Ace is getting into sports. He'll wake up and say the Dodgers win or lose. Say Ace, just so you know, if the Dodgers lose 62 games this year, they've had an amazing season. So you're not going to win them all. He's
Understanding
doing
of the
better,
schedule.
but nice to see them beat the Astros. Astros are struggling, and yeah, it's not a Braves fan. I'm not a Braves fan, but I am kind of a Braves fan because my dad does love the Braves. It is good to see the Braves good. Um, don't want to see them sucking. Obviously, the Cubs are solid. They came into Dodger Stadium and kind of beat us around a little bit. Yeah, the Royals. Shout out Gary Woodland, big Royals fan. I know that he was talking about them. Good to see them playing well before they move out of that stadium. But yeah, this time of year, it's pretty much baseball. And it's fun to see all these teams. Yeah, Yankees are hot too right now. So yeah, exciting to see. Orioles got swept.
Royals got
Last week.
swept. Mariners aren't playing that great. Blue Jays, not so great. And I was thinking the Brewers were going to be pretty good, but they're not. They haven't picked it up just yet.
Still a winning record though,
Yeah,
529 the winning percentage for the Brewers.
Yeah,
So it's
and
not
I
like the
think
crew can't
I
have some.
think a lot of these Midwestern teams is you get. I mean, obviously the Cubs are from the Midwest and they're early, but these teams get hot June, July. When because it's
No pun
still. I
intended.
mean,
Is that because of the cold weather though?
it
You
was
think?
chilly yesterday morning here in Orlando. It was like 66 in the morning, which is rare. A little long sleeve. So I'm sure it's cold. I'm sure there's still some cold days up north. So I think the baseball players, once they get into that, they say kind of like the 100-game mark is kind of the number. When there's 62 games left, you have a really good idea of where everybody's at. So still in the infancy of it, but I just love watching baseball. I think these guys are phenomenal. I don't know how they hit a ball ever when I watch these guys pitch.
No, and one last thing on the baseball season this year. I don't know about you guys, but and certainly growing up in earlier decades, watching a different style of baseball, 90s, 80s, more of a pitcher duel, kind of thing. But man, I've never seen lower averages and more home runs than I have this year, and it's a little bit disappointing. I know it's probably exciting for the fans to see the long ball, but there's a
That's
lot
how
of
you
guys
get
hitting
paid, Richie.
234. Yeah, no,
Right.
no doubt. I
33
was
home
looking.
runs. Believe
I
me, I'm
saw.
not I'm not teaching Ace to hit line drives.
Right.
Son, we're looking for launch angle and barrel.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, you either go for broke or you don't, right?
But
That's how you you
it's
pay.
rough to watch sometimes.
Well, you
But
go 3 innings without it. It's 1-0 through the first 4 innings. All of a sudden, the game ends 9-6, and you're like, "Whoa, okay." 3 home runs later, and 2 walks and 3 home runs, and we saw two hits off the bat, and we got another 14 runs. It's like,
yeah, and
whoa, all right,
I mean, and these guys just throw. I mean, Shohei has 7 pitches, and they all start at the same spot. Then they just all these guys. They're
yeah,
throwing from all these, the Tampa Bay Rays, they have like every one of their relievers they have because their arm angles are different. Like it's insane. The Rays spend more money on their analytical team than their baseball team. So they
did it
spend
really?
50 million on players, but they'll spend 50 million on all the other stuff. But yet, look at the Rays. I mean,
Yeah,
that
they're not playing
stadium's
bad.
ridiculous, but man, they play. I mean, they win.
Are they still playing it at
Oh,
Steinbrenner Stadium?
no, dog, they're back at the Trop. They
Oh
put
God,
some patchwork. I tried to get the roof gig for that, but, they didn't return my call.
it
Um,
happens. Well, that's kind of one thing. Speaking of
hopefully they move
repair,
to Orlando. I'll buy season tickets.
I was gonna say, are they gonna repair that franchise? I mean, they every fifth year, every third year, I feel like the Rays are like right there in the American League Championship Series. Like, it's not like they don't win. Like, I mean, I've been
Bro,
to
like,
a
they win. They spend
yeah,
money on the right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. No, I mean, speaking of that, this kind of rolls us into to the next topic, integrating it all. One of the great game sevens that I've seen was in Tampa Bay, but had a lot of game sevens on the TV lately, whether it's NBA or NHL. Number one, I know you're watching NHL, Panda Tim, maybe a little bit, maybe not so much. Is it if it's game seven, no matter what the sport, are you tuning in? Does it matter? Is there any other great theater, better theater in sports than game seven?
I will Timmy, you answer this first, because I know you're not the hockey guy, but I know you like all
No,
sports.
I'll watch any game 7 for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's on game 7, I'm turning it on. I'm not big into basketball or hockey, but I will watch either.
Yeah. What's the
Yeah.
Timmy, real quick, and this goes to you, Panda, you can follow up after Timmy here. What's the best game seven you remember?
Well, I mean, it's gotta be y probably Yankees Red Sox, man. I mean, that
Mm.
whole series was disgusting.
2004?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
That
unbelievable.
that Dodger Blue Jay game 7 last year was pretty insane.
Yeah.
But as far as the best game 7 that I had no rooting interest in, man, when LeBron beat the Warriors, even though I am not, that was, to me, that was about as unlikely of a scenario. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody was really considering saying LeBron James' career is about to end when they were gonna lose that, and I think that was like 12 years ago.
Yep. Yep.
Um, that's an all-timer for me.
That's
Um,
a that's a great game because that was possession by possession, which I think can be, NHL is certainly a tight game in game sevens. NBA comes down to possession. I
yeah,
don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong here. To me, there's no better game seven than a baseball game seven. That
I
is a
agree.
pitch by pitch. It could be
Yeah.
1-2, and the pitcher's
You
got him on
still
the
have to
hook.
get that last out, that's
You
the
got to
thing.
get that last pitch done,
I
right?
mean, and
Time doesn't
also, like,
expire.
I feel like NFL in the playoffs, every game in the playoffs is game 7, so
Yeah.
I love the finality of it, right? But I do wanna ask you, Chipper, since you brought up LeBron, does everybody hate LeBron? Like, I'm not that big into basketball, but, like,
Yeah.
he's, like, such a
Yes.
pussy.
I tell
You
you, Chipper,
know,
go ahead first. Sorry.
here's my take on it, and I'm never I'm old enough to remember when I was a kid at my friend's house and their dad was saying, Michael Jordan is a ball hog and he's never going to win because the Pistons, I mean, I'm talking 12, 13. My friends from Deerwood, the Deadlifts, we'd go over there. We'd watch the Pistons just beat. And I was a Laker fan. I love Magic Johnson. I mean, that was my generation. And I can remember guys just, this guy will never win. He's a ball hog, ball hog, ball hog. And then fast forward, here we are. He's the greatest player ever. Win. But then I watched him do everything he did and never lose. Obviously, LeBron comes out. He says, "I'm King James," this, that, and the other. And
Self-anointed.
yeah, just self-anointed. And we were such thirst, no, the Kobe Shaq thing and then the Kobe rape thing. Like, they weren't ever, I mean, Kobe is loved way more. I loved Kobe. I mean, I was a Shaq guy in the Kobe Shaq era, but I loved Kobe. But Kobe's love has come each year he's dead. It gets more and more. But that he was kind of you didn't want to plant your flag on Kobe for a while there.
You definitely don't want to plant your flag on number 8.
LeBron's
24
just
maybe, but 8.
I mean, he's just he's if you've seen him play live, it doesn't even look fair. It looks like if I went to Ace's school and played the whole school in basketball. He looks he could score 60 points every single game.
Oh,
I think he just
absolutely.
wants to be liked.
Standard panda difficulties there.
Yeah.
I
There we go.
certainly wouldn't call him a pussy, but I don't. I think he is. He's properly rated overall. I think there's the Jason Humphreys and Skip Baylesses of the world that can't stand him.
It's the flopping that gets me, right? I don't get
That
it.
that part
When you're big,
that
why
part
do you
makes it
do
hard
that?
for me to watch basketball in general. I just slapped you across the face and I'm looking at the ref And it's just every play. It's kind of like listening to my son complain about everything on days when he's tired, and it's like I'm over it. So maybe as someone who's had raised 3 kids, I'm just over any of that just whining. Just quit whining. My
Well,
Michael, I mean, yeah, it was just, yeah. I mean, I'm not
that's it.
gonna get in that GOAT debate because it's stupid because we'll never watch him play. To me, like when I watch Barry Sanders run, I've yet to see anybody ever be that guy, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody be what Jordan is. I'll never see anybody do what Tiger did. So until you see someone that says, you know what, that's new, that's kind of how I look at it. LeBron, just from a physical standpoint, it's almost like unfair, to be honest.
He's
Oh
a
yeah, he's an
monster of a
absolute
human
physical
being, no
specimen.
question about
Absolute
it.
physical specimen.
Anyway, I didn't mean
Yeah.
to throw us off there.
No,
But
No,
fine.
it's a great point because we can go ahead and give our first little award of the day to LeBron James for concept being a toddler. So welcome to the toddler zone, LeBron. You are new recently to golf. I'm sure you are going to cry like a baby as you do on the court, as you do on the golf course as well. Speaking of being outside, gentlemen, we enter this segment of rapid fire coming into patio season. Got 5 questions for you each, rapid fire, less than 5 seconds an answer. We will be on the clock here. First and foremost, it's grill season. Go-to item on the grill. First thing you're throwing on when it gets hot out there in Texas, Timmy, go.
I'm chicken breast. I just did some last night.
Oh, boom. Panda, hit it.
Well, I did. So my oldest daughter came home from college last night. Her request was skirt steak with chimichurri. So we fired that bad boy up on the grill last night.
Chimmy, chimmy, chimmy.
I mean, it's gonna shock a lot of you who've seen me, my physical stamina. I really like finding like old school country stores in the middle of nowhere and buying like some that basically has just been killed or made.
Love it.
Stopped in a place in Tifton, Georgia. I had to stop at a Tifton FedEx to mail Rich his wallet he left in my car, and there was this little country store, and they had the sausage of the day was
Ooh.
blueberry jalapeno. They said they did it by accident a couple years ago, and it turned out to be great. And I mean, it was incredible. And then their other one was, I mean, it was amazing. So yeah, anything from like support your local butcher or one of those kind of places. I love
Yep.
doing that.
That's a good
All
one.
right. And to pair it up, what second question is, what is the number one side that you're having outside in the summer?
Tequila.
Yeah. I
Great
mean, I
answer.
can't argue with that. Cold beer for sure.
Cold beer. I like it. So is it
Carnivore.
watermelon? Does that mean it's watermelon, cantaloupe, or honeydew for you three? What do you got on the fruit salad there?
I'm cantaloupe.
Yeah, I like cantaloupe. Watermelon with honey is not bad, but I like cantaloupe.
I'll tell you got to try this too. Watermelon with a little bit of lemon on it. We actually discovered it while
Yeah, that's good. I've had it.
Mrs. Brooke
it's
actually
good.
put me onto that. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
okay, yeah.
Shout out, Mrs. Brooke. Question 4. You've had your meal. Is it popsicles or is it ice cream, boys? You're 12 years old. You're by the pool. What are you having?
Man,
Ooh,
I'd like
12-year-olds probably.
bro.
Yeah.
Ice cream?
I mean, I miss the old days when, I mean, I guess all my kids are home now for at least a little bit. But I miss the days when you could go buy one of those like mesh bags that had like 30 popsicles in there for like
Oh, absolutely.
$2.99. Pretty much just sugar water. Throw them in the freezer, let the kids eat 12 of them when they're out of the pool. And then when I clean out the pool, I just find wrappers everywhere. But yeah, I would. I don't know, man. I like a good popsicle, but I'd have to go ice cream.
Dude, like a Otter Pop. You know those, right?
Oh, Otter
Mhm.
Pops are
Yeah.
the lingo there. All right, last one for the summer. 3 major holidays that we like to celebrate. Obviously, beginning, the middle, and the end. What is the favorite holiday? Do you like kicking it off? Do you like celebrating July 4th? Or do you like shutting it down there? Coming home.
I'm 4th of July because, we work on usually we're playing golf on the other 2 ends. 4th of
Yeah,
July, we
Memorial
never do
Weekend.
really, so I love 4th of July. I'm thinking of heading to DC this year. Love it.
I would have to agree. Hopefully, I'll be at Scioto Country Club this year at over the 4th of July. But yeah, I'm a big 4th of July guy. We're usually down at the beach. I dig holes and set up tents pretty much 4 days straight. But it's a good holiday. And I mean, we're turning 250 this year. Shout out
Right, shout out
USA.
America.
Man, it's pretty crazy. I remember I met a Greek guy one time. I was out working and had to go over to this guy's house, and he was as authentic as it gets. He's like, "If you're coming over to my house, I'm serving you something." I'm like, "All right, just make me some whatever." And he says, "Oh, you Americans are so funny." He says, Greece has been around for however many thousands of years. He's like, "You guys are not even 300 years old." He's like, "Imagine what this place is going to look like in 1,500 years." And I'm said, "Buddy, there's said a meteor's coming before that."
I think so.
But yeah, 250 years, celebrate it. Listen to Kid Rock or whatever you like to feel patriotic. But yeah, 4th of July. I mean, Memorial Day is an amazing day. Um, Obviously, I don't know if I feel better celebrating on July 4th. A bucket list for me, maybe the three of us. I want to go to England for July 4th.
Little
Who's
Wimbledon
with me?
action, maybe?
I mean, just say, hey, not everybody can finish first. But
I love it.
Wimbledon on July 4th. I don't know if it goes over July 4th. That'd be sick.
I
But
think it does. 'Cause I remember eating strawberries and cream on July 4th.
Yeah, it's
but I
going
can't
on
remember.
during the Open Championship, so
Oh, yeah.
that's the week after.
Yeah, nephew's headed over to the Open Championship this year. First experience. He's doing shout out to my nephew doing 2 weeks at Oxford for his accounting masters, and then going to the Open and playing a few rounds of golf over there. What a time to be a college kid, right?
I
Tell
love,
him
but
his wine
I love
cellar.
Scotland. By the way, love it.
Yeah. Well, we're just about out of time here, but we're gonna wrap it up with our weekly "Don't Be That Guy" segment here. I'm gonna shoot this over to Panda. We both had an experience this week. So this week's "Don't Be That Guy" is the second ball guy, the guy who must drop a second ball after a poorly struck shot. Panda, I'll throw it to you to elaborate because this is a hot topic for the both of us.
Yeah, I mean, I would say as one thing consistent with the "Don't Be That Guy" is, there was a guy that took the baseball from the kid guy, like that guy, and I think it's kind of recognizing the awareness. Like if I'm out and playing with a buddy and we're just messing around, I hit a shot, I want to hit another one. But you're playing in a scramble. I'm playing a scramble with this guy, and we're downwind on a par 5, and I cut a corner he didn't even realize existed, and I was like, dude, that went 350, like we're good. He gets up there, hits a ball, blows it right, runs back to, yeah, I gotta hit another one. No big deal. Well, he was doing that all day. And, I think what happens with you golfers listening, and again, I love this game. I want you to keep playing it, but you will never hit a shot that will be the best or worst shot anybody's ever hit. So if you're playing with me, you're not going to hit a shot that I've never seen before, good or bad. If you hit a bad one, I realize it. You work. You probably suck at golf, and that's okay. But trying to re-hit it as if I'm going to hit that one and be like, oh my God, why aren't you on tour or whatever? Or if that validates how I feel about you, because that means nothing. I hope we do business together. I love the guy. I
Right.
actually helped him with his swing. But like, buddy, just hit one and move on. The quicker you're over this bad shot, the better your next one will be. Am I right?
I think it also is handicap specific, right? If I'm playing with my brother-in-law that shoots, near 100 every time, if he didn't drop another one and hit it, we'd never finish. So I get that. But like, if we're playing with the boys and, you're all, single digit handicaps, no one wants to see you hit another ball.
No.
Just go on up and play it. I do love tour players. Kurt, well, I had both. Bryson would hit, 6, 7 balls off the tee and into the green in a practice round, where Kurt will just hit one ball. He'll pump it into the tall grass, and he's just like, I'm going to play it. I love that. It's just, if you're going to practice how you play, right?
Yeah.
So,
I've never played a round of golf with either of you two gentlemen where I have not played my ball as it lies or been ridiculed
Yeah, me
if
too.
I ever did hit
even
a
in
second ball.
partner, it's important. I'm always playing for score. So,
I agree.
hey, Richie, don't forget there was a big horse race this weekend. So we should probably
Yeah,
talk.
we do have to talk about the Derby a little bit here. I'm sure millions of dollars were won and lost based on a favorite. If you hit the trifecta this weekend, my God, how much money did you make? I could probably look that up very simply, but shout out to, is it Hot Topic? What's the name of the horse when Thunderbird
Golden
Toledo?
Tempo.
Thank you, Golden Tempo.
That's where you shop for your shorts.
It's on my preview list here for your Hot Topics. Shout out Golden Tempo. Shout out to Miss Devereaux. I believe is her Devereaux, the first female trainer to ever win
Yeah,
the
I
Kentucky
didn't
Derby.
catch that. Was she the first female trainer that's ever won a Kentucky Derby? Because after the
Correct.
700th time they said it, I wasn't. I was like, "Are you sure?" Like,
Are you sure you didn't
get
know
it.
that jockeys were brothers 1 and 2? Have you heard that
No,
yet?
I'm look, good for her. Like, I'm not,
Yeah.
but like, you don't need to say it. I mean, it was like after the 700. It was like if when Ian Baker Finch used to let us know which golfers were from Australia. It's like Ian Baker, we got it. He's from Australia. We get it. Like we know where he's from. Like this isn't our first time. But that was the only thing that bothered me, other than the horse that I picked started jumping around and got disqualified and didn't even get out. Great white. Yep.
Did you see the look
I'll
on
tell
that
you,
jockey's
man,
face?
I have a party every year at my house. We dress up, and we all watch it. And I actually videoed it this year. I watched everybody, and it was pretty mild until the end. And then, of course, everybody started screaming, and it's actually a pretty funny video. But the Derby never disappoints. And what
Oh
2
no.
minutes of
That's
Is the Derby the only time you're going to have a party, or are you going to do it for the other? It's Derby only. Like horse racing, it's not like, hey, there's 3 majors. It's like there's 1 major that we're going to dress up for.
right?
Am I right?
Right. It's like Augusta, right?
Nobody's having a Belmont party. Yeah. Good call. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That is. It's like Wimbledon, the Masters, the Derby.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Those are 3. You're going to have a party for Wimbledon. You're going to have a Wimbledon. Yeah. Nice.
And fashion faux pas are out the window those weeks. You can wear whatever you want.
Oh yeah, all white. You don't see.
I get a bow tie. I started to choke just thinking about if I had to put a bow tie around this neck.
How about? Let me ask you this question, Panda. Let's say a May day in Kentucky in a seersucker suit. How you doing, bud?
Well,
are you going? Are you? Let me ask you this: did anybody
ever
been to the
about
Derby?
38 pounds because I ain't going to eat for 14 hours. I can tell you that in a seersucker suit.
Has anybody ever been?
No, I never have. You've been?
I've actually am part owners of a horse and a very small portion. But I went to Keeneland, which is in Lexington this year, and had a blast. Like horse racing is so great. I've always wanted to go to Kentucky Derby, but I don't want to be in the infield. I want to be in the stands. So, that's kind of like I always dreamed of playing Augusta. So I'm hoping one day I'll get a good invite to the Derby.
I love it. I love it.
Same.
All right. Hey, listen, we're running out of time here. I'm going to throw it to you guys. Closing thoughts here, Panda, or we'll go Timmy. You first. Anything running hot? What you thinking the rest of this week? And let us know how you're doing.
Man, I'm thinking Rory's gonna probably win a tournament this week, coming up. And I tell you, my boy Siwoo is still playing great, and Kitayama, man, he's got back-to-back top 10s. He might
that putter
dirty too, man. He is climbing the board, and I'm excited for him. And that's about all I got, really. My golf game is coming around for all those I know who are really concerned about it. So I'm really
we all are.
Well, we got 2 member guest partners. Is that what I hear? We got member guest.
Yeah.
For you boys.
So the Wingding in Amarillo, I'm getting ready for. I got a couple things going. US 4-ball, which we'll talk about next week. Prep is on us. Yeah, that's about just trying to get some stuff dialed in for that. And I think this week, Kitayama with that putter. Kurt's got one of the nastiest Scotty Cameron putters you've
boys.
ever
We're at Myrtle Beach this week first. We're at Myrtle Beach this week first.
No, Myrtle Beach. Kurt's in Charlotte. Brooks and the other guys are in Myrtle.
Yeah.
Oh, is it a dual event?
Oh yeah.
Dual feet?
Charlotte starts Thursday. Yeah, we're going.
Okay.
And Kitayama's got this Scotty right now, this Circle T blade it's one of the sickest ones.
Apologies there.
My bad. Probably 60 grand on eBay. But yeah, I'm pulling for Kurt here. I'm gonna go with a guy that not many people talk about to win this week, and his name is Scotty Scheffler. So Scheffler and Rory. It would be cool to get a little like Rocky 1, 2, and 3. Scheffler and Rory, a little 3 or 4. But Cam Young's not afraid to win up there. I mean, he went to Wake Forest, so that's his old stomping grounds. But yeah, that's it for me. Again, we can't thank everybody enough that has listened so far, following our clips. Please follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere else we are. I don't know, but all the things you're supposed to do with the podcast, like, subscribe, keep them coming. Comments, good or bad. Toddler Zone nominees. Don't be that guy. And if you are that guy, quit being that guy. And God bless golf, boys. We'll see you soon.
God bless golf, fellas.
All right, boys. So talk to you later. God